Hey guys, so I'm back today with another collaboration with Julie from Stars of Jewels, and today we are continuing with what we shared last week, and we are sharing our mommy afternoon and evening routines. So make sure you check out her video when this one's over. I will put a link up here in the corner so you can hop on over to her channel. Let's get started. So after our lunch ends, we just hang out, no rules. I'm usually reading something like I mentioned last week, and the kids are playing in the schoolroom, just unwinding. It's pretty much like our indoor recess, I suppose. And then when it gets closer to 1 o'clock, we all work together to clean up the school area because school at this point is essentially over. And then we start our quiet time exactly at 1 o'clock. I try pretty hard to not spend all of the kids' quiet time cleaning up. I think it's important for me as well to take the time to rest and relax. This is also the only time throughout the day that I really get to have some one-on-one time with the baby. So I just clean up whatever needs cleaned up still from lunch, and then I sit down and I hang out with her for a little bit, enjoy a cup of tea, and just let my heart rest, my mind rest, and try to not be in homeschool mommy mode for a little bit. I think as a homeschooler, it's a hard thing to balance our older children and our younger children because we do spend so much time sitting one-on-one with our older children and instructing them that it's easy to forget to have that heart time with our little ones. I know I talked about preschool with my son last week a little bit, but I noticed that since the baby is so easy to please with snacks and toys, that I don't really have engaged playtime with her unless I'm really mindful to do this during the kids' quiet time. Quiet time ends right on the money at 2 o'clock, and when quiet time is over, the kids work on their afternoon contributions. So the older kids, those contributions rotate. Eli sticks along with me for the most part and does whatever I need to get done. He does it alongside with me. So on this particular day, we were doing our linen laundry, changing the sheets, folding the towels, etc. And so he sticks alongside me. He does love to have that one-on-one time no matter what we're doing, but also it's important for me to help him. Otherwise, jobs really won't get done and he won't feel the accomplishment of having done chores. Next week, I'll be sharing a cleaning routine video, actually for the next 2 weeks. So you'll have to stick around on this channel for the next couple of weeks if you're interested in what my daily cleaning chores look like. Contributions take us about 30 minutes to complete, start to finish, and that includes ample time to goof off and lose track of what we were doing. And then right around 2:30 every day, we spend some time doing our tea time reading. So this doesn't mean that we do poetry tea time every day or even have formal tea, but I found that I was trying to cram our read aloud wherever it would fit in our school day. And so what I did was I kind of pushed school and intense schoolwork to be all before noon. And then in the afternoons, before we break off and have free time for the rest of the afternoon, we sit down together with a little snack and a little drink, and we do our afternoon read aloud time. So right now we're doing Little House on the Prairie series. And then one day a week, we do an actual poetry tea time where it's a little more formal. We have actual tea and tea treats, and we do poetry instead of our read aloud. After our read aloud and tea time is done, pretty much the main structure of our day, our school day, and our daylight hours is over. And at this point, it's just free time. People ask me often when I have time to do YouTube. This is the time where I work on things. This is when the kids play their board games. This is when they run outside freely back and forth for hours. It's where I spend a little bit of time prepping dinner if I can. Most often, if the baby takes a small afternoon nap, I use that time to get as much prepared for dinner as possible. It's where I sit down and scroll through Instagram, if I'm being honest, and everybody just has some time to unwind. I get to float around during these hours and not just be a teacher. I get to be a mommy, I get to do projects, and I get to have some fun, unstructured playtime, which I think everybody needs in their day. And because I do love structure and I love routine, I have to fight to not plan these hours out pretty carefully as well. But it's just free time, free for all. And that lasts until about 6 o'clock when we sit down for our dinner hour. This dinner hour is rushed. It's so funny. I say this all the time, but I could be having the best day and then 6 o'clock hits between 6 and 7 and I feel like you have to scrape me up off the floor. It's like everybody goes crazy. I feel stressed out. It's the time of day. It's like the permanent witching hour that never ended. So I don't eat dinner at this time. My husband doesn't come home till pretty late, and so there isn't actually time for me to sit down with a meal and also feed the baby and also engage with the kids. I mean, I do have to get up back and forth, grab a couple things from the kitchen, refill drinks and so forth, and I just find that I enjoy my meal better if I wait until they're asleep. So when dinner is over, the kids help me clean up the kitchen. I pack meals. I think I've mentioned before somewhere on this channel that I package up meals and give them to my parents and my grandfather who lives with them. They do a lot to take care of him. And it's super easy for me to pack up a couple of extra meals each weeknight and send them on over there. And then the kids, again, have a little more free time while I start to get the baby ready for bed. Around this time every day, I'm just telling myself, finish strong, finish strong. So I'm always exhausted by this point. Again, my husband's working usually during the bedtime routine, and I'm feeling pretty drained. And so I just make sure that while I'm reading books to them and while I'm spending these last few minutes with them while they're awake, that I've got a smile and that I'm finishing strong. So I do try to spend some one-on-one time. I read to the baby and get her down, and then I read to the boys in their room, and then I read a little devotional or a little story with Bella in her room. Once everybody's asleep, it's not really time for me to sit back down again because they do get up and, have to go to the bathroom, need a few extra snuggles back and forth for a good 30 minutes. So I stay around that side of the house and work on laundry, work on cleaning up the rest of what needs cleaned up in the kitchen and the schoolroom and so forth. Once everything is picked up, the chairs are flipped over, I run the vacuum for the last part of the day, and then I sit down and have my dinner. I really love ending my day with a cup of tea and a book that isn't a faith-based book, isn't a parenting book or a marriage book, but just a little book for myself, a little entertaining read. I don't necessarily love to watch TV, so this is the perfect way for me to end my days. And usually I spend about 30 minutes reading. I'll either go to bed, or by this point I'll know if my husband's going to be home before 11, and then I'll just stay up and make sure that he has a warm meal. Otherwise, it's labeled, it's in the fridge, and he knows how to heat it up. That's how my days go. They're very, very long right now. I know I mentioned on Instagram that will be changing soon, and I can't wait to share more with you guys in a couple of weeks here. In the meantime, make sure that you check out Julie's video. I can't wait to see how her evening routine goes because our morning routines were ridiculously similar and I had no idea. Let me know in the comments below if your days are similar to mine or what you guys do differently, and I will see you soon. Bye.